Hey, what's going on, guys? Just thought I'd let you guys know what's going on with the channel recently because I haven't actually really been uploading a lot. Last upload was 5 days ago, and that was my last story time. But I am trying. I'm attempting to post consistently, and I've got you guys with a pretty interesting story today. So sit back and hope you enjoy. Anyway, this story happened back in eighth grade. Now, I could make a whole series about stuff that happened in eighth grade because eighth grade was a wild time. Um, I honestly wasn't the best kid, but the environment I was in terms of the school, like my middle school, was pretty bad, man. Anyway, this was um, this was in eighth grade, and it happened. I think maybe in March or I can't remember. But one time I was in class, right? Oh no, it happened in probably May actually, May or June. Um, because one time I was in class and I was like, dude, can I, to teacher, can I go to the bathroom? And they were like, yeah, sure. Because in my middle school, there were basically almost no rules, right? Sounds weird, but it's true. There were basically no rules, and you could basically do almost anything you want. So I didn't need a bathroom pass. I was just like, teacher, can I go to the bathroom? Like, obviously, you have to ask. You can just leave class. I was like, can I go to the restroom? And he was like, yeah, sure. So I got up and I went to the restroom. It was like a corridor down the hall. Got in, and there was this kid there, right? Now he was 2 grades above me, okay? So he was in 10th grade and he was doing his final exams. Now these are a big deal, okay? These final exams were a big deal. They basically stay with you throughout your whole school like time at school, your whole like education. So these were a big deal. Now he had his final exams the period after this. So instead of like studying or going to study hall, he was sitting in the bathroom smoking. And I was like, dude, as soon as I walked in, I could tell because it reeked, okay? And I was like, what is going on, dude? Like I knew this kid. I was certainly not friends with him. I knew him and I could have guessed he did stuff like this, but not inside of school. Like I didn't think he was that stupid. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? It smells awful in here. Don't you have finals next? And he was like, yeah, mind your own business, man. He was just being a bit of a prick. I wasn't trying to get in his business because I knew this kid was probably nervous and that's why he was doing it because he's like hooked. And I was like, geez, man, all right, just take it easy. Anyway, I do my business in the bathroom, right? I come out and he's still there puffing. And I'm like, okay, man, are you sure you're okay? Do you want me to call someone? And he was like, nah, you little snitch. Don't do anything about this. I was like, I was just like, okay, okay, man. Like, I've had enough of this kid's attitude, and I was just like, suit yourself. But the last thing I said to him, or what I can recall, was, these are your finals, man. These are going to stay with you for the rest of your life. Like, I was an eighth grader. I was kind of silly at the time, but I wasn't stupid. Like, I knew what I was talking about. I was like, these are going to stay with you for the rest of your life. Like, if you need other ways of coping with the stress, you can talk to someone, but this is not the way. And he was like, whatever. And I just left. I mean, it stunk in there so bad. It smelled awful. But yeah, that was a really weird interaction. Anyway, I went back to class and I'm pretty sure I had a normal day after that. I think I saw him and he gave me like a dirty look. 'Cause he probably knew he flunked. But anyway, I don't know where he is. I think yeah, I think he dropped out uh like the following year cuz yeah, I think he dropped out in his junior year, which was kind of a shame cuz well, it wasn't a shame cuz he always turned up to school like on something. But anyway, that's pretty much the end of the story. You don't want to end up like this guy, otherwise you're pretty much cooked for the rest of your life, or you're finished basically. And just try and stay well. I hope everyone's doing well in terms of their health, either mental or physical. And if you got stress, talk to someone. Anyway, that's the moral of the story. I hope you guys did enjoy. This one was kind of a wild one, to say the least. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.